Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and we're ready to talk to this guy. He's been looking for me. 20 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Oh, the Everstone. I don't know, have I? I only got 17. Well, I don't want the Everstone anyways, so... Everstone is just a hold item that makes it so your Pokemon don't evolve. Yeah, it's not what we want to be doing. We want to evolve because evolution is power. Oh great, it's Pikachu. Taste my unevolved power. Really? This is how we're going to start off the video. Clefairy, you know what, Maggie? You're staying in there and you're going to fight this thing. One advantage to being paralyzed here, I know it seems weird to call this an advantage. The Clefairy can't put us to sleep with Sing. So that is a thing. Well, we're about to head into Rock Tunnel, and this is a great example of why it was my least favorite dungeon as a kid, and why it still is. And we're not even in the dungeon yet. There's a lot of Pokemon in there that will use like Glare and Stun Spore and Poison Powder and just inflict you with all this sort of paralysis and poison status. And, you know, me as a kid, and even still me as an adult, I would rather go back and... Is there a secret item here? No. I'd rather go back and heal at the free Pokemon Center rather than spend a bunch of money on items. So I ended up making a whole bunch of trips in and out of here. Also, here's the other thing I don't like. You need a Pokemon with Flash. And Flash is a crap move, so... Yeah, I never liked having to do that. But once you activate Flash, it's active the whole time. There's a ton of forced trainer battles, as you'll see there. Oh, what's our first encounter going to be? A Geodude. I want it. I was not prepared to capture anything. Okay, let's get Ivysaur in here. And let's put it to sleep. Ivysaur. I did end up using a Graveler on my my last successful Fire Red team. Can I just capture this from here? That would be convenient. I'm not going to use Great Ball on this. Because we don't need to. Yeah! Give a nickname to Geodude? No. Repel. That could be useful too. The random encounters here can also get kind of obnoxious. Though I don't mind these Geodudes, especially with Maggie out front right now. Of course, now Maggie gained a level. Seismic Toss. No. Yeah, we don't need Seismic Toss. Alright, what we need... we're actually going to put Ivysaur up front here for this fight. And then we're probably going to go out and heal. A lot of times I would get like one trainer in and one or two trainers in, and then I have to go back and heal. I'm just going to heal the Ivysaur just because, yeah. There's a Cubone. I was expecting this guy to lead with Slow, but we're going to fight some slowpokes in here. They're kind of annoying to deal with as well. Like I said, did I not just tell you guys? I believe they have insomnia, which makes it so they can't be put to sleep. Okay, it's going to use Water Gun instead of Confusion, which would have been super effective. That's fine. Razor Leaf, more accurate than Tackle. So we'll go with that. Yeah, slowpokes are really tough to kill in one shot, even with super effective attacks, as you've kind of seen. Oh, his name was Ashton. I like that name. Well, that'll be the one thing I like about this place. Now, there are 2 floors to the rock tunnel. I think I mentioned this in Mount Moon. And a lot of times Nuzlockers will take a capture from each floor and treat each floor as like a separate route. In games or dungeons that have, you know, vastly different sets of encounters for different floors, I'll do that. Or what I'll do is I'll kind of modify that common practice a little bit. And I'll say, okay, when I get to the 2nd floor, there's like one Pokemon. I believe that Pokemon is Onyx. And, oh, there's the Pokemon in the box, in case you were wondering. And I'll say, okay, if my first encounter on the 2nd floor is Onyx, I'll capture it. Otherwise, I just don't get a capture from that area. That way, you know, there's still a chance that I could capture and use Onyx in a Nuzlocke. I'm not going to use Onyx in a Nuzlocke. I'll use that Geodude and Graveler first. I did take Graveler to the Elite Four. He ended up being one of the Pokemon that ended up dying in the Elite Four battles. But we still haven't come across the sole survivor of that team. We might do that. It is not going to be. It's not going to be in this episode, though. Zubat. How annoying could you be? No, not that annoying, because Mankey just one-shotted you. Yeah, I'll just keep Mankey in the front, because Mankey can handle the Geodudes and the Zubats. As you can tell, you know, this also has a fairly high encounter rate, which also annoyed me. Just everything about this dungeon annoyed me. And there were occasions where I wouldn't even have a Pokemon that could learn Flash. Or if I was doing like my solo run with Blastoise, it'd be Blastoise by this point, I would often not even have a Pokemon that was capable of learning Flash, and so sometimes I would just skip that completely. And I had this dungeon basically kind of memorized. You could even see less of it than you can in this version when you don't have Flash on. And but I had it where I basically knew like how many steps to go for each area, and where the exits were, and how to navigate through this dungeon without ever using Flash. That guy, he's a super nerd. Which aren't called super nerds in this remake, but they're still super nerds to me, and that's what counts, right? Okay, so last time he had Cubone and Slowpoke. This one... Oh, you have an item. Let's do the smart thing and take it before... let's lead with Hypno. We haven't actually used this Hypno yet since it evolved. There might be some Nidorinos. It's Winston. Okay, it's another Slowpoke. This is not the most favorable matchup, but I do have Headbutt here. Well, this is going nowhere fast. Let's get into Ivysaur. Oh, now you go for confusion. And as you can see, some things can kind of dish out the damage a bit more so than the other areas we've come across thus far in the game. So, yeah, I found myself having to go back very frequently. Let's get the Mankey in front again. Oh, you have another item. We're just getting all kinds of berries from you today. So, since we're in my least favorite dungeon, a lot of these trainers in here are forced battles too, by the way. And there's a ton of them. I was going to complain about Gen 7 and what I didn't like about Sun and Moon. And I kind of hinted at this before, the totem battles and the Z powers, or the Z moves. Oh, yeah, I do want to switch Pokemon. This is a... I might go with Hypno again. Yeah, Maggie's good at all the wild encounters here. That's nice. I do have an escape rope too, so we can get out of here if we have to, in a hurry. So yeah, let's start with the totem Pokemon. Yeah, I thought you might have grass types. Let's start with Confusion. So totem Pokemon replaced gym leaders in Sun and Moon. There wasn't an issue with the concept of gym leaders. I'll get back to that in a little bit. But these totem Pokemon were basically just, you know, you fight one Pokemon, and it ends up getting supercharged stats because they didn't know how to design a good challenge. They didn't know how to make gym leaders challenging enough. And just look at gym leaders from mainly Gen 5 and Gen 6. But so you had to fight these totem Pokemon instead of gym leaders, and it was just one Pokemon. But then it would summon a second Pokemon in the battle, and it turns the battle into a 2-on-1. You can't send out a second Pokemon yourself to make things, you know, even. So now you're fighting two Pokemon against one, and basically just getting double teamed by this thing that has super stats and whatever else it summoned out to support it. It's a terrible, not fun idea. And, you know, totem Pokemon, you know, taking 2 attacks at a time was kind of the result of most of my deaths. The other being the Z crystals, or the Z moves, Z power, whatever, which is basically just any Pokemon can now get a supercharged damaging move with huge power that will like one-shot anything that doesn't resist whatever type it has. Well, this is not favorable. As we do it anyways. Okay, so Charmander's gonna be asleep here. Let's seed him. Or let's not, because, you know, why would I think we could hit with 90% accuracy attacks? That woke up. That's not helping. Okay, Ivysaur, we gotta get you out of here. Let's go into... I'm gonna want Hypno later. Let's go into Pharaoh. Yeah, we don't have anything that resists fire, but we'll make do. Oh, really? We couldn't just finish it there? Okay, we'll get health back. So yeah, again, 90% of my deaths in my Pokemon Moon Nuzlocke were either from Totem Pokemon or these super-powered, ridiculously powerful Z moves, which basically anyone has the potential of having. And it just wasn't a fun experience for me. To me, that's not signs of a good challenge. That's signs of, we don't know how to make a good challenge, so here's just, you know, some ridiculously powerful stuff. Okay, the problem that Game Freak had with gym leaders in the in Gen 5 and Gen 6 games is that they made them so that gym leaders only had 3 Pokemon, which is a terrible idea to begin with. And then 2 of those Pokemon ended up most of the time just being throwaway Pokemon, like unevolved things, and then you'd fight their ace, because they wanted to highlight, you know, their ace Pokemon. That's fine. Here's a better way to do gym leaders, and still make them about the type, whatever type it is, but still make them challenging. Okay, each gym leader should have 4 to 6 Pokemon. You know, 4 for the first couple, and then 6 for the latter. Everything from like Gym 4 onward, or whatever. But then when you do that, don't just stuff them full of throwaway Pokemon. Give them a bunch of unique dual types. For instance, you could take a Poison Gym and give them like Tentacruel, Victory Bell, you know, Muck, Weezing. So there's your pure poisons, and then you have these dual types that are, you know, part poison and part something else. And that would make the gym leaders, you know, a bit more challenging. And, you know, you take water, for instance. You know, you can have a water ground type, water electric type, pure water type. So that way, or a water flying type. That way you can't just run in there with, you know, Meowth has another item. You can't just run in there with a single electric type and kill everything because, you know, the water ground type is going to stop you from doing that. Or you can't just run in there with a single grass type because the water flying type is going to, you know, negate water's disadvantage to grass. And doing that would make the gym leaders more challenging. Another hiker. A lot of the hikers in this area like to start with... They like to start with Machops. And they'll still have like the Geodude and Growlers. Here's Onyx, by the way. Which I don't think it was our first encounter. I don't know. I stopped paying attention when I was on here. I'm on autopilot when I'm talking about these other topics. Really? We couldn't kill that thing? Oh, fine. Yeah, every time I think I'm going to get lucky and I'm going to get through this in one shot, and I don't think it ends up happening. Ever. Geodude. The level 25 variety. Now let's put this thing to sleep. Now I know he's weak to fighting, but he has low special defense, so Confusion might actually deal more damage. But not enough to one-shot it, you know? You know, while we're on the subject, Hypno would also be an okay lead here for the wild encounters, but we're gonna stick with Maggie. Although this is a fairly straightforward dungeon, there's not a lot of like twists and turns and maziness to the thing. Now there's a couple spots like we just encountered where we have some split paths, but yeah. And Maggie's 27 now and still has not evolved. Let's get Hypno back in here, because we might get to test this theory right now. This tunnel goes a long way, kid. And a lot of times, you know, even these roundabout paths, they'll have a trainer on each end, so you can't just, you know, bypass one of them and not get into a trainer battle. You'll fight another trainer elsewhere. That wasn't a level 25 Geodude, just pointing that out. Hypno, that's a pretty decent level. Are these just all going to be level 19 Geodudes? Not that I really have a problem. Actually, this guy might have a Machop. If he pulls out a Machop, I'm going to go to Pharaoh here. Let's get Ivysaur some experience. Now, Ivysaur is close to leveling. Yeah, Ivysaur is actually a pretty good Pokemon to have through the rock tunnel. Ah, yes, he did have him a chop. We'll go to Pharaoh. Yeah, out of the three starters, Ivysaur, I would say, is actually best suited for this area. It resists fighting. You know, you got the weaknesses against rock and the rock and ground types. You'll have a good time. Another hiker. Well, why don't we go with Hypno? So yeah, that's kind of my problem with the gym leaders in the in like Gen 5 and Gen 6. But that's not that gym leaders are a bad concept, it's just that they were executed poorly. But going to, you know, these totem Pokemon, it just totally comes off as feeling like we don't know how to build a good challenge, so here, just fight one Pokemon that's has supercharged stats and can summon a partner. So it's a 2-on-1 fight. That's not a good design challenge, in my opinion. There were some things about Sun and Moon I did like. Biggest one being probably How. I liked the rival. I liked his character. I liked his personality. I liked his he was just such a fun guy. Um, I liked his battle theme as well. That was super catchy. That's my favorite music in that game for sure. Geodude. Just swapping all the Pokemon around. Poor Pharaoh. It's like not getting any attention here. Really now? Well, fighting resist rock. But that's okay. Pharaoh's gonna get plenty of chances to shine at the next gym. Oh, there's an escape rope if we need one. Another hiker. Oh, I have Hypno in front still. Okay. Hypno it is. Outsiders like you need to show me some respect. We'll see about that, Lucas. If that is your real name. Aha, see? And this wasn't even a level 25 Geodude. But it's essentially spending its turn doing nothing, so it doesn't matter. Free experience and we don't take damage. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for as we go through here. Graveler. That's the kind of stuff I'm not looking for as we go through here. We're just going to blast this thing with Razor Leaf. Otherwise, I don't know if this has self-destruct yet or not. Let's not risk it. Gravelers are scary, and they don't give enough experience, in my opinion. Alright, back to Maggie. Then again, our whole team is pretty well suited to fight grass types. Other things I did like about Sun and Moon, I liked the entire sequence at the Aether Foundation. Of course, that entire sequence has nothing to do with totem Pokemon and almost nothing to do with Z-moves, so yeah. But it was a pretty interesting place. I like the way that the whole plot played out. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but that was like the highlight of the game for me. But the rest of it was not so pleasant. This is a picnicker person. Do you know how to avoid getting lost in the mountains? You can bend twigs as trail markers. But what if there's a whole bunch of twigs along the path, and you don't remember which twigs you bent and which ones you didn't? I don't know, I'm not really a nature... I like to get out and walk in nature and that, but bugs are too attracted to me. And I don't like that. I'm just too much of a hottie. But no, I do like going outside. I like seeing nature. I love going to the beach and swimming. Swimming is fun. It's just that nature sometimes doesn't like me. Oh, Meowth, that is a job for... yeah, Maggie. Yeah, all our Pokemon are kind of getting around the half health. And I want to say we're maybe about halfway through. I might use an escape rope soon, and, well, we're close to ending this video soon, too. And because this is a Nuzlocke, of course, I'm going to be even more careful than normal. What's down here, then? No, a Geodude is down here. Oh, hi there. Oh, you're not a trainer, because you're not in a required spot to travel by. I think this might be one of the move tutors. Yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green introduced some move tutors here. Boulders tumbling down, and be like, what? Total terror. Oh, yes! I want something to learn Rock Slide. Mankey can learn Rock Slide. That's awesome. That gives him a weapon against fire types. Yeah, we don't need Scratch. We don't particularly need 2 fighting type moves either, but we have them. They have their uses. Take this. Okay, you're giving us TMs. That's one of the rarer things that Meowth can pick up. Let's see what that TM is. And TM10 is, no, hidden power. We're not going to use that. But that was interesting. Okay, I'm going to play things safe. I'm going to escape rope out of here, and I'm going to heal up, and I'll meet you back at this junction. And yeah, I'll do that off camera because I already cleared out the trainers so far. And I'll meet you next time, and we'll finish off Rock Tunnel.